You've arrived at your jiu-jitsu gym, it's probably Saturday or Sunday morning and you're there for open mat. And if you're like me, then you love open mat. Everybody loves open mat, plainly speaking, because we just get to show up and we just get to train and we get to roll with our friends. We don't really have to think too much on open mat, we just get to rock up, slap and bump with our mates and just train for about an hour and a half with completely free time with our mates. With that said though, I think a lot of people undermine how powerful open mat can actually be in regards to skill development. Primarily because there's so much training volume in an open mat. Think about it, it's just like an hour and a half straight of just straight rolling. There's so much exposure to all these different problems we get to solve at open mat. All of this exposure time is really good for skill development because we just get so much opportunity to try and figure things out, push and pull, move our partner around, try and solve big problems. To better explain how important training volume is to jiu-jitsu training and skill development, we need to go to the whiteboard for a second. We've got person A and person B. Person A trains 3 sessions per week. In 4 weeks, which is about a month, they get 12 sessions in a month. Person B, they have 7 sessions per week. So in a month, in about 4 weeks, they get 28 sessions per week. Who do you think is going to progress faster in this scenario? Now, it doesn't take a rocket science to figure out that just simply having more training volume is going to make you progress faster than somebody who has less training volume than you. With that said though, what we do with this training volume that we do have can actually really impact our skill progression even more if we set it up the right way. Let me explain. Imagine for a second this graph represents your skill set. Your stand-up is quite good, your guard is sort of in the middle, your passing is really, really good, but your pinning is quite poor. If you're aware of your skill set and you can see there's gaps, particularly like in the pinning situation, if your passing is really, really good, but your pinning is quite poor, this is kind of like a massive issue because having a really good passing game but a poor pinning game is kind of like just having a big willy but not being able to get it up, do you know what I mean? Like, what's the point? If you're clever enough to recognize where the gap is in one of your skill sets, you can start to isolate them. For example, if it's pinning, you need to work on this in open mat. So how do we do that? Well, this is where positional sparring comes in. Now, just before I go into the power of positional sparring and playing eco games, I just need to explain grappling just a little bit. Jiu-jitsu is just simply grappling towards an outcome. In the sport of jiu-jitsu, that is grappling towards submission. In judo, you grapple towards ippon. In freestyle wrestling, you just grapple towards a pin. When it comes to jiu-jitsu or submission grappling, there are all these particular skills we need to develop to become an efficient grappler. Like I just mentioned before on the whiteboard, there's standing situations, guarded situations, pinning situations. All of those situations in jiu-jitsu sort of are their own particular skill. And in order to develop a particular skill, you need to isolate from everything else. This is where positional sparring comes in, or CLA games or eco games. The power of playing games is you get to remove everything else, all of the other opportunities or possibilities that can happen in a grappling scenario, which is a lot because grappling in itself is inherently chaotic. If you can stop a lot of the other scenarios or situations that can happen in a grappling situation with 2 people, then you can hone in on developing a particular skill. So you need to keep in this mind when you go to open mat, either just before, message somebody or ask somebody in the previous class and develop a friendship with somebody who you feel comfortable with to ask them if you can start, maybe commit to, depending on, it's completely up to you to be honest with how much you want to allocate to positional sparring. But first things first, you need to develop a relationship with somebody that you trust and that you befriend in the gym. Ask them, hey, do you mind if the first 2 rounds on open mat on Saturday, we just commit to doing whatever particular positional sparring you want to have set up, develop whatever particular skill you want to get better at? If you simply do that, you will get better in that area faster than if you just rocked up and just did open mat. Now, I'm not saying you should have just regular rolls with people. That's totally fun. You can totally do that. But when it comes to open mat, there's so much opportunity that you can capitalize on if you can set it up appropriately, that you can develop particular skills faster than others. If you're serious about getting better faster at jiu-jitsu, I think it's really important you take a hold of your own training and start to manipulate it in a way that's really beneficial for you. And going into open mat and setting up positional sparring or eco games is a very, very powerful way to do that. It doesn't have to be complicated. It can be simple. I'll set one up for you right now. For example, the majority of people watching this video are probably white belts. And if you're a white belt, you're stuck in bottom side control. Why? Because you're a white belt and you're still learning. So you pick a friend, go to open mat, ask him to start in bottom side control, and your goal for top player is either get to chest to back connection or get to full mount. Bottom player, all you have to do is either reverse the position or just regard. Simple. And even if you're not just a white belt, you're any other color belt and you still can't escape side control, don't worry, I'm going to help you out. I've got an escape course coming out soon, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching and listening. I hope this video was helpful. I'll see you guys in the next one.